Hi Gordon, in this video I'm going to demonstrate the three tags which I've given you the chord diagrams for above. So here's the first one. And here's the second one. 3 notes per string, per chord. So that one requires us to dampen the strings, the A string, B string and E string. They have to be dampened by this hand, which you sort of do by resting the flesh of your fingers across those strings. And that way you can play confidently. Whoops. Not like that, like this. So the third example, we're on the top 4 strings and it's a lovely sound. So really nice chords. The B flat chord's got the 6 and the 9 of the B flat major scale. And 6 and 9 are very commonly used to colour in major chords by jazz players. Then we've got this B flat diminished, which is the same thing as B flat minor 6. And move those 3 fingers down and you get A flat. It's an A flat dominant chord with a B flat on the top, so it's A flat 9. Back through the diminished chord and up to this B flat dominant chord, which is barring with the index finger and just putting the major third of B flat on the G string. Here, the other thing I'm going to do is demonstrate that solo that we came up with for the B section. Well, it's not really a solo, it kind of is a solo. It's a chord solo, and it's a nice melodic way of playing. So a lot of jazz players often improvise the B section. I guess maybe if they didn't have time to learn it or something. So here we go. I'll demonstrate it with a tag at the beginning just to put it into context. And so on. So, what I'm going to do now is to count the bars, because I realised while I was doing that'd be super helpful for you. So, here we go. Here's that solo, chord solo into the single note solo, and I'm going to count along so you can hear the timing, because we've got at least 2 bars per chord. Yeah, I think it's 2 bars on each chord. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got the arpeggios at the end that we learnt today. C major triad with the flattened 7th note of the C major scale, making it a C dominant arpeggio. And then we got the C minor arpeggio by doing a bar with our index finger. That works over, it doesn't matter if the rhythm guide decides to do C minor to F7, or if they just do F7, if they just do C minor, because as we know the 2 and the 5, you can do either or you can just do one. I personally tend to play that bit. I go just from C7 to F7 or F9 and then B flat dominant. And that's why that little chromatic bit at the end works so well, and I actually stole that from you today. After the C minor, when we go down 2 chromatic steps, we land on the flat 7 of B flat, so it's a perfect way to land into B flat 7. And it's very common for us to have, in jazz songs, for the 1 chord, which is B flat in this case, to be changing to B flat 7, especially when we're going to the 4 chord, because in that case the B flat 7 is what we call a functioning dominant. It works because it sets us up for that chord change, which is a 5 to 1 if we look at the relationship of B flat to E flat. That's when we see what we call functioning dominance, which is a dominant chord not in the usual place, because our usual dominant chord in this key of B flat, if we just harmonise the scale, the only dominant chord we get is F7. But when we're going to the 4 chord, that's when we use B flat 7 on the way to create a lovely sound. So I hope that helps, and I'm looking forward to seeing your progress with this, and yeah, take care, all the best.